All right, so again, this shouldn't take very long. We just have to finish out this set of notes and then you guys, it's pretty much the review is what you have. You have another sheet that I posted for review that we'll go over as well before you take the test. Oh my gosh. All right. So data ethics, we're going to read a bunch of this, not much to do today. Medical professionals are taught to follow the basic principles: first, do no harm. Shouldn't those who carry out statistical studies follow the same principle? Most reasonable people think so, but this may not always be as simple as it sounds. Decide whether you think each of the following studies is ethical or unethical. So we're going to talk about it a little bit. A promising new drug has been developed for treating cancer in humans. Before giving the drug to human subjects, researchers want to administer the drug to animals to see if there are any potentially serious side effects. Is it ethical or not? It is what? That's what I'm asking. Do you think it's ethical? Chandler? See, I'll be okay if your little doggies were chosen. Do they? They do, don't they? Yes. Is it ethical though? That's what you have to decide. So ethics really are whatever you kind of see them as. If you're an animal lover, then you're probably going to think that this is very unethical. But if you're not, and I'm not saying you're not an animal lover, because I think some of you are realists in the fact that we won't know what's going to happen to us if we don't do it on them first. But how are their lives any less important than ours is basically what it's saying. Okay. So it's hard. It's hard to determine whether it's ethical or not. And you'll see in the next two situations, the same thing is going to happen. You're not real sure. So, are companies discriminating against some individuals in the hiring process? To find out, researchers prepare several equivalent resumes for fictitious job applicants, with the only difference being the gender of the applicant. They send the fake resumes to companies advertising positions and keep track of the number of males and females who are contacted for interviews. Is this ethical? What's wrong with it? Yeah, you're lying to them, right? You're making them look dumb. So, is it ethical? Who knows? Are you going to catch them if they're being unethical? Yes. Okay. All right. Will people try to stop someone from driving drunk? A television news program hires an actor to play a drunk driver and uses a hidden camera to record the behavior of individuals who will encounter the driver. Is this ethical? Again, it's whether you think it is or not, but if you're lying to somebody, so this guy's acting, that's not very ethical. Okay. So you just got to watch how everything is handled. So again, first, do no harm. So we don't want to do harm to animals or people. Okay. So we got to watch that. That's why we do volunteer people instead of, like just making them do it. So animals don't get a choice. They don't get to volunteer, but people do. So they've done more of that testing rather than testing on animals now. Does it still happen? Of course it does. Okay. The most complex issues arise when we collect data from people. The ethical difficulties are more severe for experiments that impose some treatment on people. Let's look at I don't have anything. Then for sample surveys that imply or gather information. Trials of new medical treatments, for example, can do harm as well as good to their subjects. Here are some basic standards of data ethics that must be obeyed by all studies that gather data from human subjects, both observational and experiments. So, and this is it. This paragraph is the final paragraph. All planned studies must be reviewed in advance by an institutional review board. charged with protecting the safety and well-being of the subjects. All individuals who are subjects in a study must give their informed consent before data are collected. So they have to sign waivers and things like that. All individual data must be kept confidential. Only statistical summaries for groups of subjects may be made public. So if they find a treatment that works, they can say that the treatment works, but they can't say the treatment worked for Ashton. Does that make sense? Okay. Any questions on this really quick? Again, what you have to do today is just basically the chapter review. And then tomorrow you'll have a little more review. I'll probably post an announcement to explain that. And then Thursday we'll go over probably both of them. And then Friday you will test. Okay, is that very good? All right. I'm going to stop sharing, stop recording.